for attending today's effective communications training session. Just want to thank you all for making the journey. I know it's been quite challenging pulling us all together. So I'm Zoe, I'm one of the first direct trainers. I've been with the business for 5 years now, and I'm here to do the session with you today. If I can just ask that you all introduce yourselves first of all, so we can familiarise ourselves with each other's names. So if you'd just like to...
I'm Billy and I've worked for First Direct for 7 months now.
Fantastic, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's good so far.
Oh, that's brilliant.
My name's Harriet and I've been working for the First Direct for 1 year now.
Oh, brilliant. And are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hi, my name's Paul and I've been working for First Direct now for 5 years.
Fantastic, same length of time as me. You still enjoying it?
Yeah, all good.
Absolutely brilliant. So today's session is all about how to communicate effectively with our teams. So just pull up the how the session plan is going to work. So we're going to go through the welcome and the introductions first, which we've just gone through, which is brilliant. Then I'll go through a little bit of housekeeping. We'll do a little icebreaker. I'll just loosen each other up because I know it's the end of the day. It'll make it easy for us. I'll cover the aims and objectives of what the session is going to cover today. And then we'll do a little bit of work on how to communicate effectively with our teams and hopefully find something that we can take back. And then we will summarise at the end. Is that okay for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Evacuation procedure in case of emergencies. Front door as you all entered, that will be one evacuation door, that's unlocked. Also, just through the blinds here, that will be the other evacuation door, depending on where's required. That's in case of a fire alarm. The toilet's located just on the right hand side as you exit this door. Feel free to go if you do need to. Can I confirm that you've all got your phones turned off or on silent and not on vibrate?
Yeah,
Fantastic. The session is only 30 minutes long, so I've not got any breaks included in that, but feel free, if you do need a comfort break, just to go. You know, I won't be offended by that, and then we'll just cover anything that you might have missed when you get back. Refreshments are available on the table. There's some fruit there for you, there's some water, feel free to help yourselves to that. And I've also provided you with note, pen and paper, just in case you wanted to take notes to take back to your teams. Is that alright for everybody?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and just to also let you know, just for my training and development, for my line manager, I'm recording this session. Are you all happy with that?
Yeah.
Fantastic, that's brilliant, thank you. Okay, so shall we do a little icebreaker? I do love an icebreaker. What I'd like us to do is to choose a superpower, any superpower. I want us to think why we'd like to have that superpower. Yeah, so what superpower would you like if you could choose any superpower, and then what would that be and why? If you have a few minutes to think about it, and feel free to get yourself some refreshments as well if you want some. Yeah, we're all feeling ready?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Shall I go first?
Okay.
Yeah. I would like strength, power of strength. Purely and simply because in my household I tend to get left to carry everything whenever we go anywhere and my hands start to ache, so that would really help me out on my day-to-day basis. What about yourself, Billy?
I'd have teleportation so I could get to places faster.
Fantastic. Where do you need to get to faster?
Just wherever, so then I don't have to get up as early.
Wonderful. Get to work faster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about yourself, Harriet?
I'd choose invisible because then I can get to places without being disturbed and I can skip lines.
Jump the queue?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what about yourself, Paul?
I'd have immortality, and then I won't be waking up every day with aches and pains. I'd be as fit as I feel every day.
Love it, love it. Okay, so I'll go through our aims and objectives for today. So, like I said, today is all about effective communication, okay? So the aim is to understand the importance of effective communication. And then one of our objectives will be to identify 3 effective methods of communication, okay? And objective 2, to understand how to apply effective methods of communication in the virtual world, which is where we're all living at the moment, aren't we? Okay, so first section that I've got is why effective communication is important. And I do have a short video for us to watch. Just give me a moment, I'll get this set up. Just takes a second to load, my apologies. Do feel free to take a refreshment if you'd like one. Just give me a moment, let me see where it's loading. Oh, wrong. There we go. You okay there, Harriet? Would you like a little bit more water?
Got some water.
Okay, so it is loading. I think that my internet must be a little bit slow today. I'm sorry about that. We have these issues with the virtual world nowadays, don't we? There we go.
In the world of business, communication is everything. From making sure that everyone is on the same page to motivating colleagues towards better productivity. Here are some reasons why effective communication is so important for management. Effective communication helps to enhance your problem-solving skills. Communicate and collaborate to address changes, resolve differences, and explore potential solutions. Managers who communicate effectively are better motivators and can more easily create the type of collaborative atmosphere that any business needs to survive. Effective communication helps people understand what they're supposed to do and why they're supposed to do it, which goes a long way towards increasing productivity. Today's workforce is becoming more globalized by the day, which can be challenging for managers who must work with diverse employees from different places and backgrounds. Communication skills work within the confines of this multicultural and multinational workforce to communicate and achieve the company's goals and objectives. So come visit 360training.com today.
So I'll just throw thanks in there to the 360training.com where I got that little video link from, which was brilliant. Did you all recognise the different sections of how it does help us communicate what
Yeah.
what the benefits are of it when we do it properly? So it covered enhancing problem solving, okay, communicate effectively. It can break down the barriers, okay. It will improve the productivity, and it also helps utilising globalisation, which is quite big for us obviously in First Direct. So the next section that we're going to go through is a little activity for you. So I want us to take a few minutes to think about, and you can, I think if we do this section individually, I want us to think about, and it's just a quick fire round, what different methods of communication we can use with our teams, whether it be, for example, just verbal communication. Do we have any other methods of communication that we can think of?
WhatsApp.
Fantastic. Harriet?
Video conferencing.
Brilliant. Paul, have you got ideas?
Yeah, written communication.
Brilliant. What about yourself, Billy? Can you think of anything else?
Calls and telephones.
Fantastic.
Emailing.
Brilliant. Okay.
Texting.
Fantastic. So I think you might have covered pretty much everything that we've pulled together there. So let's have a look. And so, definitely we've got the face-to-face communication, we've got telephone communication, we've got email communication, we've got text communication, we've got WhatsApp, we've got video conferencing, and we've got written. And would you all agree that we utilise them in different ways to achieve different results?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. What I'd like us to do now then is I'd like us just to review kind of what the advantages and the disadvantages of a few of those are. If I go through one of them, if I go through a few, and then from that we'll just choose one more as a group to be able to analyse what the benefits and the disadvantages would be of that type of communication. For example, So with email, and I will send you these slides out so that you can use them, you know, you've got them to reference with as well. So for example, the advantages of email, they're short, quick and effective, they're editable prior to sending, and consistency across multiple recipients. Records retain if we're required to, so we can keep them on record, and we can easily attach documents that need to go out. So we've all identified that actually, yeah, that is some really good advantages.
Yeah.
So disadvantages could be that we can send it to the wrong people. Anybody ever sent the wrong email to the wrong person?
Yeah.
It's not good. Email can be lost in the mix of all the rest of the mail that's been received, so the recipient could miss any kind of important communication. It can seem a little bit less personal, pardon me. It can also be ignored, which also isn't great. And it can be misinterpreted if we've got the punctuation inaccurate on that email. So can we see the advantages and disadvantages of those for the email?
Yeah.
So we'll go through telephone now. So advantages of telephone: more personal, more reactive to decisions, it's really cost effective, and it can still be recorded. Problems that we can come across with telephones is time constraints, trying to get two people to sit and have that conversation at the same time. Reduced non-verbal cues, so we don't necessarily know what the reactions are if we're on the phone because we can't see the face. And sometimes technical difficulties, like we've just had with my little video. Then we've got the face-to-face, so we've got more personal is face-to-face again. We've got allows time for clarity, reaction opportunities for non-verbal cues are available, and we've got the ability to confirm people's understanding when we're doing things face-to-face. Again, disadvantage is the same as the telephone, it's time constraints. Face-to-face can be more costly because it's cost a fortune to pull you all together here today, but well worth the investment. It's disruptive to the working day, as we can all imagine. It's been quite challenging getting us all together. And there's also no paper trail. So I'd like us to now, as a group, the three of you can discuss what additional method of communication you'd like to use to discuss to find out what the advantages and disadvantages are. Paul, have you got any ideas of what you'd like to use?
Well, going back to the different methods, I think probably video conferencing for me personally.
I think it'd be quite apt for the time as well, won't it, with we're all using video conferencing and we're all using it personally as well, through Zoom meetings and things like that. Yeah, by all means. So do you want to take a few moments then, just to sit and think about, or you can, I'd like you to actually discuss it in a group, what the advantages and disadvantages are, and then I'll pull you back in a few, let's say 2 minutes, is that alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, and I'll just get it set up for the next.
So it can be recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also for the advantages, it could be like I'd say can be reactive to decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it can be more personal, and you can know like what the reaction is, and you can speak to them face to face.
You can confirm that you've understood it there and then,
Yeah.
and if you don't understand it, you can also confirm that as well.
Yeah. Should we move on to the disadvantages?
Yeah.
The technical
What are
problems.
disadvantages, technical problems.
The time constraints.
Yeah, getting everybody together.
And it can like disturb your day, so you could be halfway through something and then you could have a call.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then plus could we lose evidence of
Yeah.
our video call?
Yeah.
If it's not recorded.
So maybe we can think about that, can't we?
Yeah.
Are you all ready to feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we've got one person that likes feedback for us.
Shall I do it?
Yeah.
Will you take notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so we've had a chat amongst ourselves for the advantages and also disadvantages of video conferencing. And advantages we came up with was cost effective, but also they can be recorded and you can be more reactive to decisions with the video conferencing as to whether you understand it or whether you don't understand it, because somebody's speaking to you there and then you can pipe up and say yes I understand that, or no I don't understand it. And you
Fantastic.
can also be reactive to disagreeing and agreeing, as well as understanding and not understanding.
That's brilliant.
And it gives you time to ask any questions what you're unsure of.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah. And then the disadvantages we came up with were, again, time constraints getting everybody together in the working day. But also, again, because of modern technology, you could have technical problems
Absolutely.
getting that up and running. And could you lose the recording of the video?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, so we came up with that as well.
Yeah,
You know, there could be
absolutely.
no evidence if it got lost. So again, going down the no paper trail.
Fantastic, fantastic. So can we see how we can really tailor what the type of communication is to the information it is that we need them to send through? Yeah,
Yeah.
does that make
Yeah.
sense? Fantastic. So, because obviously we're all remote working at the moment, I'd like us to think about what actually are the challenges of remote working, and then take that into how could we, with effective communication, overcome some of those challenges and some of those barriers. So what I've got for you here is a list of individual challenges for the person individually when they're at home working by themselves. So that covers social isolation, managing your own time. Are any of you struggling with managing your own time? No, you're finding that alright. What about the social isolation aspect?
Yeah, it's just sometimes you just don't get to meet as many people.
Absolutely. And work-life balance?
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's a bit more advantageous because you don't have to lose time travelling to and from work.
I understand that, but have you found yourself logged on for an extra 15 minutes
Yeah,
recently?
yeah.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. It's about that work-life balance, or thinking, shall I just check my emails to save myself 10 minutes tomorrow on an evening? What about personal presentation?
Because it's getting up and getting ready for work.
Yeah. Have you found that with your teams, some of them aren't always quite forthcoming with turning the camera on because they've not had their hair done for the day, or
Yeah.
And what about adapting and embracing the home environment? That can be challenging because you can have other things that are going on as well.
Technical difficulties. And
Absolutely. You also might not even have the space to be able to set up your office. And distractions. We all have a distraction.
Yeah.
What kind of distractions have we got going on at the moment?
Pets,
Pets.
kids.
Absolutely. So, challenges for the organisation then. Potentially reduced motivation. Okay. We've also got failing to network, so we're not communicating enough with the extended people within the business. We might have technology problems. We're all having technology problems, or Wi-Fi issues, or internet challenges. Employees may have reduced direction, and the business might also have reduced direction because the collaborations aren't happening promptly enough. Okay. Potential reduction in productivity. So obviously we're on the we've got the call centre. As soon as we start having individuals' problems with internet, we're losing one of the reps off the call, off the lines, so which is increasing wait times for our customers. Team communication can also be challenging. Okay, so what I'd like us to do is I'd like us to think about, in terms of what we've just covered, what do we believe could conquer? How can effective communication, or what can we do as an organisation and as team managers to make sure that our teams, and for example, I'll go through the first one for you, reduce motivation. Okay, so are we setting clear objectives for our team on a daily basis? and are we feeding back to them on their achievements that they've done in that day or in that week, or are we just leaving them to what they're doing? Okay. And have we encouraged them to self-plan the following day's personal priorities? You know, obviously we do have the scheduler for them to adhere to. Are they adhering to it? And if they've got things that they need to do, are they letting us know? Yeah? What about failing to network? What could we do for that? What do we think?
Set up a meeting, social meeting.
Absolutely, yeah. Also, you could do one-to-ones with your team, which would be great. Yeah, sometimes it's nice if we're just having that conversation, and more so than what we used to, because we don't get just to have that social morning chat over a cup of coffee. Okay. And we need encouragement for them to connect and reach out to us as well, so we need to build that open platform. And if we need to, have we considered a buddy system? You know, have we got a stronger member of the team that can do some coaching for you? Yeah?
Yeah.
What about technology problems? What could we do there?
Give them some advice on it, so like when to log on so it's not as busy, or like to sort out their internet to help them with it.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. And they can also have supportive, like we can try and get the IT department involved if they're struggling with some of the platforms that they're working on, and if they're crashing, how, you know, get them to support and how to quick troubleshooting on what the first port of call would be.
Yep.
Okay. But also, do we need to set up training where it's required? You know, I know that not all my team are hot on using Zoom. Is there anything that your team might find helpful? Just it might even be a one-to-one, or just literally showing them how to annotate, or it might be showing them how to share the screen. Little things like that might really enhance their capabilities alongside that. Okay. So in terms of reduced direction, we've got the setting objectives daily, planning meetings for one-to-ones and team collaborations. Okay.
Yeah.
And that kind of runs in line also with the reduction in productivity. So do we set our expectations on the day, and do we follow up? When was the last time you rewarded one of your members of staff, Billy?
Quite a while ago now.
Right, okay. And do you think that's because you've been busy with what you're doing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about yourself, Paul? When was the last time you...
Well, I don't really, because I just get focused on what I'm doing, and I just kind of expect them to do what they're doing.
Absolutely. So do we think that this is where we now need to introduce the communication?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And in terms of team communication, do your teams talk at all?
Only on conference calls, and that's about it.
Right, okay. So did they talk before they went virtual?
Not really.
No. So do we need to kind of set up a social meeting platform?
Like a WhatsApp group or something.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Just that will help. That could help to bring confidence and trust within the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from an organisational point of view, what can we do? Okay. So in terms of social isolation, we can encourage the usage of social platforms. Okay. And introduce team meetings to daily routines, additional social meetings via conferencing. We've seen how they're both kind of working together. So a lot of it is we've not got lots to do. It's just how we use one thing that can troubleshoot 3 different areas for us. In terms of managing their own time, do we understand that the challenges that our teams are coming up against, to support the timeline settings on targets for them? Okay. And do they have structured break times to make sure that they are taking the breaks when they should be? And when we do have structured break times, are they actually taking them when they should be? You know, are they following the direction? Because it's we're looking at potentially what's best for them.
Yeah.
Work-life balance, so the completion of the working day to be set as usual unless flexibility is requested. Yeah, I know all the teams are doing overtime at the moment, but have you guys got your downtime as well? You know, are you finding that you're running over a little bit? So you need to set your end of day, because if you don't set your end of day, then you'll find that you're just running into your own time. Personal presentation, I think this is one of the best ones for me. Set the expectations
Yeah.
and spot and
Like
set
a dress code and stuff.
absolutely to a certain degree, smart casual. They can come smart casual. Don't anticipate that they're in a suit and tie in the bedroom. It's not to be expected. But personal presentation, to the extent that you will be happily present on a Zoom meeting with your camera on, always motivates a little bit more. What do you think getting yourself ready in the morning does for yourself?
Makes you feel a bit better, makes you feel more awake so you can concentrate better.
Absolutely, it prepares you for the day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So adapting it and embracing the home working. So one of these is maintaining strong communications with the other team members and share your experiences and best practices. Okay? And distractions. What can we do for distractions?
Shut the door.
Shut the door, shut the pets out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously speak to your manager if your children are isolating, understand. It's totally understandable. But designate one location to be your office and to avoid multitasking, set personal ground rules, commitment to work and commitment to your schedule, and then think about going and pegging your washing out. You know, on your break time, on your downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what I'd like us to look at now is applying effective communication. Okay. So, looking at this is what applying effective communication would look like and how it would, what the result would be. Okay. What I'm going to ask you to do is, are you all okay? Can you read the slides? I'm going to ask each of you to take one of the slides.
Mhm.
So, Harriet, can you read the first one for me, please?
Yeah. Set up meeting by the chat based application.
So that's the action. What would be the reason for that? Can you see that? Do you want me to pull that a little bit closer for you? All right.
Would it be to team chat?
Yeah.
Um.
Share information.
Yeah. Ask questions. Get to know the team.
Brilliant. And what would the outcome be?
Open communication builds trust.
That's brilliant. So do you see how that, if you're setting up a meeting point through a chat-based application, it's going to do team chat, it's going to share information, they're going to be able to ask questions with each other, share best practices, get to know each other, get to know a little bit about each other, and it's going to build the communication skills and the trust. Paul, can I get you to read the next one for me?
Yeah. Ensure digital communication clear, concise and unambiguous.
And what's the reason?
There's no visual cues then, and the information won't get misunderstood.
Absolutely. Brilliant. So, and what would the outcome of that be?
Again, it's building trust and it reduces potential conflict and set continuity of understanding.
Fantastic. And Billy?
Utilise communication methods to our advantage
And the reason?
and identify most effective for the circumstances.
And the outcome?
So it's just making sure that it's the best outcome for all the parties.
Yeah, so that's literally just saying, right, what do I need, what am I wanting to say, what am I wanting to do, what is the best way to do it, and what will get the best outcome. Fantastic. So, nearly at the end of it, guys, now. What I'd like us to think about now, what will you take back from today's session? Thinking about how much you know your own teams and how they're working, what is going to most benefit your team members?
I think I'm going to set up like a WhatsApp group or a video conference for a morning, just so we can get in touch and stay in touch and just see how we've been doing.
Fantastic. And how confident are you, Billy, with ensuring that that application happens and you can implement and change
Quite
it?
confident with that.
Between 1 and 10?
About the 7 or 8.
Okay, brilliant. We'll try and pick up on it. Let me know how you get on with it and what results you get from that. Harriet, what about yourself?
I set up a WhatsApp group to build the team's communication.
Fantastic. And how confident are you about setting up a WhatsApp group?
Quite confident.
Yeah. 1 to 10?
Probably 7 or 8.
Fantastic. Just let me know how it goes and let me know how your team reacts to it and
Yeah.
what kind of things you get. We have all sorts of cooking information on ours on what we've been having for tea as in terms of the social aspect. What about yourself, Paul?
Well, first of all, I'm going to send an email to my team suggesting we have a morning meeting every morning,
Yeah.
and then from that we'll get a time sorted out what suits everybody, and then what I'd like to do for them to get on board with having a morning meeting stroke conference every morning. Don't have to drag on, it can be a 5-minute thing or a 15-minute thing,
Excellent.
and that's what I'm going to put into everybody's diary so they'll know when we're going to have this meeting on a
Brilliant.
regular basis.
Be able to cover those objectives as well that way.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea. Absolutely fab. And how confident do you feel about implementing that?
About a 5,
About a 5.
so I'll get onto IT to get some help.
Absolutely. I'm always here as well if you want any help with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If it's, you know, it's what I'm here for. If it's just something in terms of setting up your actual meetings and you want me to help you with setting up the Zoom meetings, I can show you how to do that, no problem. Brilliant. So if we just summarise then, just to see whether or not we believe that we've covered the aims and the objectives of the session. So understand it, do we believe that we understand the importance of effective communication? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think we've identified 3 effective methods of communication?
Yes.
Do you want to just tell me what 3 of them are?
A WhatsApp group chat.
Brilliant.
Video conferencing.
Absolutely fab.
Verbal.
Brilliant. And understand how to apply effective methods of communication in a virtual world.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, that's everything for the session in terms of what I'd like you to do. I would like to stay in touch. I'd like to let me know how them chats are going. Paul, if you want some support with the Zoom, just send me an email and I'll totally pick up with you and we'll get that set up. I'll show you how to schedule it.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to do, and I think once you've done one you'll be able to schedule it, and you can do a recurring schedule as well, which is good. I will send out feedback forms also. They're totally confidential, but in terms of my development and my training, just to see how what you've enjoyed, what you'd like to have seen differently, just so that I can implement any changes to the next session that I do for this. Is that all right?
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I'll get that email sent out to you by the end of the week, and that can just go into the learning and development department, and then they'll be able to feedback.
Yeah.
It's totally confidential.
Brilliant.
Okay. Thank you for your time and have a safe journey home, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.